On the Business Watch, do you ever feel torn between your job and your family? You're not alone. New research shows working parents still struggle with it, worrying their boss will not understand their family obligations. The report comes from Bright Horizons Family Solutions. It shows 48% of working parents fear family commitments and issues could mean they lose their job. 39% say they fear it could cost them a raise. 26% worry their home life could lead to a demotion. So what do you do about all this? Lewis Douglas is a resource manager with Kavaliro, the expert here to talk to us about it. I think a lot of people worry about this.
Absolutely, Tommy. It's a really big issue here. One of the major things that you want to do is to set your priorities. Okay. Have a listing. You know, a lot of times we stray away from the making a checklist, kind of like Santa, and checking it twice.
Right. So how do you set those priorities?
Well, you set those priorities. You want to have what is the most important for your day and kind of going throughout that, checking it out, having small goals to be able to separate those things. Once those goals are completed, then transitioning into the personal life.
You also say track your time. That is very important.
Absolutely. Having a designated time in order to track, you keep that time and you focus on time. And when that time arrives, you want to make that cut.
Now this one seems kind of like a duh to me, but I guess it must not be. Concentrate on one thing at a time. What do you mean by that?
Concentrate on one thing at a time. When you're at work, you're at work. When you're at home, you're at home. Simple as that.
Well, I guess I guess it is pretty simple. Schedule one thing you look forward to each day. Tell me about this. Why do you say that?
Well, you know what? That's actually one of my favorites, Tom. You know, finding one thing that you want to look forward to, whether it be going to the gym or signing up for a league, reading a book, having something that you know that when you meet your cutoff time, you can go and achieve.
And finally, respect your private time. What do you mean by that?
Respect your private time. If that's your private time, you want to make it a priority to stick to it and keep to it. A lot of times we find ourselves, it has to be next to an emergency to cut off and reschedule anything. So if you have that time already set, go ahead and commit to it, and you'll be fine.
You know, in a way, this is a little bit surprising to me because more and more companies these days are offering flex time and flexible hours. Why do you think it is, with that trend emerging, more and more companies doing that every day, that people are still so worried about this?
Well, it goes with the solution of not being able to differentiate, you know, your work life going into personal life, and you know, not having those boundaries. Even though those flexible schedules are there, they're still bringing those things home. You know, especially with all the electronics that we have available, our phones, and being so well connected, it's easy to, you know, be at home and still at work.
Yeah.
So having those times to cut that off is essential.
Big issue with a lot of people. Lewis, thanks for the advice. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having us.